Hello, everyone. My name is Dar Rath, and I'm the pastor at Faith Lutheran Church in Port Elgin, Ontario, Canada. And each week I bring you a story or a message that takes about 5 minutes to watch. Some of the stories are funny, and some of them just give you something to think about. And this story today is interesting because it made me think about something, and I hope you find it interesting as well. The story is from a book called Flowers in the Wind, and the story is actually written by Sean Patrick, called No Banshee for Me. We see how Irish handle the death and the dying. When he was growing up in Cleveland, Ohio, Sean Patrick loved a good old-fashioned wake. After all, a wake was a time for socializing and getting together with friends at his St. Columkill neighborhood. A wake was a time for singing as well as remembering and sharing good recollections of the person who died. Sean never thought that the wakes he knew were anything out of the ordinary until he went to Holy Redeemer High School. At that time, the assistant basketball coach, Mr. Michael O'Flynn, died from a heart attack. Because Mr. O'Flynn was a very popular man, arrangements were made for his wake to be in the hall of the Ancient Order of Hibernians, which is an Irish-American Catholic organization. Women prepared food, men sang, and minstrels played their instruments. It was quite a celebration. And just as Sean was getting a bottle of soda, some of his non-Irish classmates walked into the hall. One of them, Billy, cornered Sean and told him that he didn't seem right that there was such a party atmosphere with poor Mr. O'Flynn in his casket and his wife sitting by it greeting the visitors. Sean replied, "Well, it's a wake, Billy," as though that explained everything. Soon other friends joined Billy in saying it seemed out of place to have a party at a time when people were in sorrow. Pretty soon a group of classmates had gathered, and Sean tried to explain the purpose of a wake. Fortunately, a man named Finneran overheard the conversation and bailed Sean out. Mr. Finneran explained that at one time the Irish were among the most superstitious people in the world. One of their legends held that if a dead person was left untended, even for a few minutes before the burial, a banshee would come and snatch the soul of the departed and carry them off to limbo and somewhere instead of heaven. A banshee is a female spirit who heralds death in a loud and boisterous way. Mr. Finneran explained, "O'Flynn is gone, but he was with us once. We are happy that we had him among us for the time he was here. Tomorrow, boys, we'll play the dirges and chant the requiem, but for tonight we'll remember the man he was when he walked among us and be thankful." Later this evening, he explained, the adults would sing and lift a glass or two to toast Michael O'Flynn and wish him a safe journey to the gates of heaven. Soon the boys who were not Irish American began to understand the power of the Irish wake. And before they knew it, they were happily sharing how Mr. O'Flynn had helped them on their life journeys, especially how he helped them improve their basketball skills. At the end of the evening, everyone gathered to sing the Minstrel Boy and toast Michael O'Flynn with a parting glass. Then Mr. Finneran and the Monsignor prepared to sit with Michael all through the night hours so that no banshee would take him away. This is an interesting story because I really didn't know anything about an Irish wake or the story of the banshee. And you know, there are cultures and different denominations, and we have different ways that we mourn, different ways that we grieve, and there are different rituals for the deaf and dying. There isn't sort of a one-fits-all way to grieve. So, as we continue our life journey this week, it's kind of a good idea to reflect on these rituals and the way that we grieve in our culture or in our denomination. And I found this very interesting story because I didn't know this before. I hope you find it interesting as well. So, thanks for taking 5, and blessings on your day.